Did you know that your morning cup of coffee could be secretly affecting your heart? It's true! For many, that warm, comforting brew is the go-to energy boost, but what happens when the caffeine in that cup starts to mess with your blood pressure and heart rhythm? If you're someone who feels that rush of energy and the occasional flutter in your chest after a cup of coffee, you're not alone. But here's the thing, for some people, these reactions can be more than just a little inconvenience, they can be a serious health concern. If you've ever wondered how something as simple as a cup of coffee could impact your health, you're in the right place. Whether you're dealing with high blood pressure, heart palpitations, or simply curious about your caffeine intake, it's crucial to understand how coffee can affect your body. And, no, it's not just about cutting out your daily pick-me-up, it's about knowing how to keep your heart happy and your health on track while still enjoying that beloved cup of joe. By the end of this, you'll have a clear understanding of when coffee becomes a risk and, more importantly, what steps you can take to protect your heart and overall well-being. Ready to learn how to strike the perfect balance between enjoying coffee and safeguarding your health? Let's talk about how that morning cup of coffee affects your body. We all know it's a quick pick-me-up, but what if it's also causing a spike in your blood pressure? Yup, caffeine does that. It temporarily increases your blood pressure by stimulating your heart and causing blood vessels to constrict. For most people, it's nothing to worry about, but if you're someone already dealing with high blood pressure, that boost could be a problem in the long run. Think about it, one cup of coffee might not make a huge difference, but regular consumption? It could be raising your blood pressure every single day. And here's where it gets tricky, over time, those spikes might add up. Consistent caffeine intake can put a strain on your cardiovascular system, especially if you already have a tendency towards hypertension. Imagine you're trying to improve your overall well-being, eating well, exercising, and reducing stress, but your daily coffee habit could be counteracting those efforts. Not great, right? The point is, while coffee can temporarily boost alertness, it's also important to consider its impact on your long-term heart health. So, what does this mean for you? Now, you're probably wondering, how big of an issue is this, really? Well, the American Heart Association warns that consuming more than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, about 4 8-ounce cups of coffee, can cause issues for some people, especially those who already have high blood pressure. This is where it's crucial to know your body and how it reacts to caffeine. If you notice your heart racing or feel jittery after that second cup, it might be time to reassess your coffee habits. Here's the thing, it's not just about coffee. Think of it as a balancing act. Between your caffeine intake, your lifestyle choices, and your overall health goals, every little decision matters. If coffee is your go-to, maybe consider switching to decaf or cutting back gradually. And, hey, don't worry, we'll dive into better alternatives next. Ready for it? You've probably felt it before, that sudden flutter in your chest after drinking your morning cup of coffee. For some, it's just a harmless jolt of energy, but for others, it could be a sign that something's off. That feeling is known as heart palpitations, and yes, they can be triggered by caffeine. But here's the thing, while palpitations themselves aren't usually dangerous, they can be a red flag that your heart's under a little extra strain. Especially if you notice them more often after that second or third cup of coffee. If you're experiencing heart palpitations regularly, it's not something you should ignore. While the occasional flutter can be linked to things like stress or lack of sleep, caffeine can definitely make it worse. Think about it, caffeine is a stimulant, and when you consume it, your heart rate increases. For some, this is just the body's way of reacting to a jolt of energy. But if you're prone to anxiety or have any pre-existing heart conditions, that little flutter could be a signal to cut back. Your body might be telling you it's time to slow down. So, what does a heart palpitation really feel like? It's not just your average heart racing, it's that sensation of your heart pounding in your chest, sometimes making it feel like it's skipping a beat. It's kind of like your body is trying to catch up with your over-caffeinated state. And if you're feeling lightheaded or dizzy along with the palpitations, that's definitely a sign to pay closer attention. While occasional palpitations aren't likely to be life-threatening, consistently experiencing them could increase the risk of heart problems in the future. It's all about listening to your body. Here's the key takeaway: if you're dealing with heart palpitations after drinking coffee, it might be a good time to assess your caffeine habits. Take note of how you're feeling post-cup and try cutting back to see if that helps. Next, we're going to talk about what the right caffeine intake actually looks like to keep your health in check. Trust me, you'll want to hear this. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how much caffeine is actually safe to consume. The truth is, moderation is key. Experts generally agree that consuming up to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day is safe for most people. That's about 4 8-ounce cups of coffee. But here's the thing, not everyone's body handles caffeine the same way. While some folks can drink coffee all day and barely feel a thing, others might feel jittery or anxious after just 1 cup. If you're someone who notices heart palpitations, anxiety, or poor sleep after your daily caffeine fix, you might want to start paying closer attention to your intake. But let's be real, caffeine isn't just in coffee. It's in soda, energy drinks, and even some pain relievers. If you're loading up on caffeine from multiple sources, you might be going over that recommended limit without even realizing it. That can add up quickly. Before you know it, you're hitting 500 milligrams or more a day. And while it might give you that quick burst of energy, too much caffeine over time can have negative effects on your health. So, next time you grab that coffee or energy drink, take a moment to check how much caffeine you've had throughout the day. If you're wondering how to keep track of your caffeine intake, start by reading labels. Look at how much caffeine is in each serving of your favorite drinks and snacks. If you're having trouble cutting back, try switching to decaf or gradually reducing your intake. Some people find it helpful to swap out a cup of coffee for herbal tea or even just a glass of water to stay hydrated. Keep in mind that reducing your caffeine intake can also have some pretty awesome benefits, like improved sleep quality, reduced anxiety, and even a better overall mood. Remember, it's not about quitting caffeine entirely unless it's necessary for your health. It's about finding balance. Next up, we'll take a look at who might need to limit their coffee consumption even more. Curious to know if that's you? When it comes to coffee, not everyone should be sipping away like it's no big deal. Certain groups of people need to be extra cautious about their caffeine intake. If you have pre-existing heart conditions, high blood pressure, or anxiety disorders, coffee could actually make things worse. Think about it, caffeine's a stimulant, which means it revs up your nervous system and raises your heart rate. For someone with high blood pressure, that can be a serious concern. The good news is that cutting back or even eliminating coffee could significantly help improve your cardiovascular health and overall well-being. People with anxiety are another group that might need to take a step back from coffee. Caffeine can trigger anxiety symptoms, like nervousness or heart palpitations, and make them feel worse. For someone already dealing with anxiety, that jittery feeling after coffee isn't just uncomfortable, it can be a full-on stress response. Reducing your coffee intake could be a game changer, helping you feel more grounded and less anxious. And hey, it's not just about feeling better. Over time, managing anxiety more effectively can improve your quality of life. If you've ever been told to cut back on caffeine by a doctor, it's probably because of its impact on your heart. People with heart disease, arrhythmias, or even a history of strokes should be cautious with caffeine, as it can lead to increased heart rate or high blood pressure. It's all about knowing your limits and choosing what's best for your health. For some, this means sticking to decaf or finding alternative energy-boosting options that don't put their heart at risk. But, here's the thing, just because you're in one of these categories doesn't mean you can't still enjoy life. There are plenty of alternatives that can give you the energy you need without the risks associated with coffee. So, what are those? Well, stay tuned, we're about to dive into some healthier ways to stay energized. Trust me, you'll want to hear this. If you're looking to cut back on caffeine but still need that energy boost, don't worry, there are plenty of healthier options out there. One great place to start is by sipping on herbal teas. Teas like green tea or peppermint tea are not only caffeine-free, but they're also packed with antioxidants that support your health in multiple ways. Green tea, for instance, contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation without making you drowsy. It's like getting that calm, focused energy without the jitters. Plus, herbal teas can help you stay hydrated, which is crucial for overall well-being. Another powerful alternative is staying hydrated with good old water. Yes, water. It's easy to forget how vital it is, but dehydration is a major energy killer. Sometimes, when you're feeling tired or sluggish, it's not the lack of caffeine, it's the lack of hydration. Try sipping water throughout the day or infuse it with lemon, cucumber, or mint to add a bit of flavor. Your body will thank you for it, and you'll notice more energy throughout the day. Staying hydrated can also do wonders for your skin and mental clarity, so it's a win-win. Now, let's not forget about something that's gaining more attention these days: mindfulness. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, or even a quick walk around the block can help re-energize you when you're feeling drained. Taking just 10 minutes to focus on your breath or stretch your legs can lower stress and increase blood flow, giving you a natural, healthy energy boost. Over time, incorporating these mindfulness techniques into your routine can improve both your physical and mental well-being. And here's a tip you might not expect: sleep. That's right, sometimes the best way to feel energized isn't by grabbing another cup of coffee, but by improving your sleep habits. Getting enough rest not only restores your energy levels but also boosts your immune system and mental clarity. If you're struggling with sleep, try creating a calming nighttime routine that includes relaxation techniques or even herbal teas like chamomile. Your body will thank you, and you'll wake up feeling refreshed, ready to take on the day without the need for caffeine. Remember how easy it was to just grab that cup of coffee every morning without a second thought? But now, armed with all this knowledge, you're ready to make smarter choices for your health. Whether it's cutting back on caffeine, finding healthier alternatives, or just listening more closely to your body, you have the power to take control. Your heart and overall well-being deserve it. So, here's the challenge: think about the last time you felt that flutter in your chest after coffee. What are you going to do about it now? It's time to take action and make changes that will keep you feeling energized without compromising your health. And if you're serious about taking control of your well-being, you've got the tools to make it happen. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss tips that can help transform your health for the long term. Every step you take now is another step closer to a healthier, happier you. You've got this.